Greetings, everybody.
Hello.
We're here to make this video today to teach you something that has really helped us in our journey. And me personally, I'm a lifestyle medicine. Some people call them health coaches, and I studied raw food nutrition, plant-based nutrition, and supplementation from the Hippocrates Health Institute. So we kind of learned a lot in the past couple of years on kind of this type of stuff, and we're here to just give it back to you. Why don't you tell them a little bit about why we're doing this?
This power shake, which we're going to get into in a second, has been a game changer for me. I am one that I've never liked protein powders. I've never liked any of the powders that you're like the meal replacements or whatever. They all tasted awful. They weren't natural ingredients. And I don't like to eat a meal before I do my animal communication sessions in the morning, but I like to have something in my stomach. And when Mike found this stuff, it was a complete game changer because it tastes good, it's filling, it's all raw, natural, whole foods. And I want to share that with you today because sometimes before you have to do some type of psychic intuitive work, your stomach's growling, it's a little bit distracting, you want some food, but also at nighttime, it's not really good to eat right before bed, which we'll get into, and sometimes you can just have this. So let's get into this first and explain like why this is so good from a nutritional standpoint.
So get comfortable because this might be a lengthy video because I really want to teach you, whoever's watching this, exactly why you want to be using these things and the difference between this stuff compared to what you're finding in the grocery stores. So to start, any type of meal replacement for 99% of what's on the market, if you find it in a big box store, Walmart or grocery stores, even if it says organic on the box, it's not really in your best interest to be taking because there's a lot of stuff in there, fillers, unnatural flavorings, things that aren't seen unless you really know what you're looking for. And a lot of the stuff in the big box stores, they've been bought out by Nestle and Kellogg's and all those type of brands. And to be honest, those companies don't care about your health. So I came across Purium a couple years ago, actually, and then I became a provider with them maybe in the past year and a half. We've been using these products very regularly in our own life. And we actually went through a period of time where we did their transformation program, and we pretty much lived like 30 days on just this stuff. And we want to start off with this power shake here. And if you take a look at what's in the ingredients, you're really going to understand what I'm doing. So you can go to their website and click the ingredients list, but I'm just going to name a couple things off of here. You know, organic millet, carrot juice powder, wheatgrass, amaranth, alfalfa, quinoa, raspberries, organic flavoring for apples. It has a berry in there, chia seeds, raspberry flavoring, buckwheat. So it's pretty much a sprouted raw powder.
And it tastes good.
That's a big thing about it is it has some raspberry and apple flavoring to sweeten it up, and it doesn't taste bad at all. What's so good about this stuff is the enzymes, the nutritional factors of the plants that are in this are still intact because it hasn't gone through the processing that most of these other powders have. It has a completely, almost like a raw texture to it. And most people, even if they're not on the healthy side of life, they actually say this tastes good. That's why it's so good.
Mike's mom is taking this now, and she calls it Superman juice
or Superman juice,
Superman powder, and she loves it. And she's been doing it at least once, usually twice a day for the past almost year, probably.
What I found is, you know, when people come to work with me, when I take clients on, you know, that's differently. People are paying the money, they're focused in their life. But then I had this whole other side of people that knew that I was into this, and they always are like, Mike, oh my God, I got to lose weight, I got to eat better. And then it turns out they don't really make any changes in their life because they're not really, you know, a lot of times we have to pay money to make the change because it's like our accountability to ourselves. So what I tell people is I said, hey, just drink 2 of these a day. Don't stop what you're eating. Don't care about anything else. Just drink 2 of these a day. You're automatically going to start eating better because it's going to change the chemistry of your body, and you're going to eat less food because you're going to be more nourished. You're not going to crave so much. You're not going to be hungry so much. So if you can just drink 2 of these a day without worrying about anything else, then that alone, you're going to feel a difference.
Share what your clients have said when they started drinking this, what they've noticed. Because they all kind of said like the same thing after being on it consistently.
More energy is a huge one, and they notice it because what'll happen is a lot of my clients, they'll buy it and then they forget to reorder it, so then they go without it and they feel a difference without it. So more energy, clarity in the brain, and why all this ties into, Nikki's group here is because, and I work in a very special capacity too with people, not like in the psychic realms like Nikki does, but kind of almost in the type of coaching I do. I do something called deep coaching. And if you're not mentally clear, you cannot do your work. And you have to realize how important your physical body and your lifestyle is. It's 90% of the process. If you want to be a good coach, if you want to be a good mentor, if you want to be a good psychic or intuitive healer, you have to have the lifestyle to back it up and to be a grounded individual. Otherwise, your work is going to come like a flame. It's going to get burnt out, because the only way to sustain this life is to feed your body the right way.
And your clients, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't they say that this alone, well, other things too, but this helped a lot with their sleep?
Oh yeah, you will sleep better when you start getting minerals and trace minerals into your body. Your body will be able to heal. And also, what you can use this shake for is you really want to stop eating past 7 p.m. So if you're hungry before you go to bed, you drink this instead. It's that simple. You want to hold off in the morning on eating solid food. A breakfast isn't good for the human being. It's not good for us to wake up when we get up in the morning, drink a coffee and eat a breakfast. It's not good. It stops a lot of the body's processes that are going on to clean. So when you either can get a juice in you or something like this, your body is still going to be clean, it's still going to be empty, it's still going to be doing what it needs to do. You're still going to be light, high of energy, and you're not going to maybe feel that fatigue feeling from being what we call, hungry. So we're going to move on to some of these other products, but this is like the baseline. I say like everyone should be drinking this. Everybody. Like I don't even need to hear about your problems or your issues or your life. 2 of these a day. You're going to eat less food. Now, this is more expensive than what you're going to find at the grocery store or the GNC store, which I tell you so much to stay out of that store. Everything in these stores are completely bogus. All you have to do is to look on the back and to read the ingredient labels. And if you can't pronounce something, you don't want to put it in your body. It's that simple. You can pronounce every single thing. A 7-year-old could read this ingredients label. All right? So that's how you want to eat your food. Whole foods in the purest form possible. So you're going to be spending a little bit more money on these. And we're not here to sell you stuff. We're here to be like, hey, this helps. And if you're going to buy stuff, buy this. So it is priced more than what you're going to see in the store. It's about 20% more, but it's worth it. It lasts longer. You drink less of it. You're going to eat less food. And in the end, it all pans out.
Before we move on, I want to share how I drink this. So what I usually do is like 1 banana in a blender, 1 banana, maybe a couple Brazil nuts and some pumpkin seeds, water, and then the serving size of this, which is 5.5 tablespoons. But sometimes I just mix this with water, and that still tastes good. So you don't need a bunch of berries and frozen fruit and peanut butter and all that stuff, which really isn't the best always. This is good just with water, so you need nothing.
Yeah, and you can carry it with you. Have a little container and carry it with you if you know you're going to be traveling or you're at work, is to make better food choices, to have it on standby.
Mike always makes fun of me a little bit because he says I have what's called lack of power shake trauma. Because if we're getting low, I'm like, when's the next shipment? When are the bags gonna come? We only have 1 bag left. And he's like, Nikki, it's on the way. Because this is my story, guys. I literally have this. I've had this twice a day, every day for how long have we been getting this? 2 years?
A long time.
2 years. It's amazing.
Yeah, we weren't the type of people, just always doing this. We were very, very sick individuals. So it's coming from experience. And then I went out down the path to learn the educational aspect of it all and actually working with people in this capacity. But both of us, we were sick. Nikki had what they called thyroid C word. She had a thyroid removed. I was so sick. I got, I could barely function at 27 years old. I thought I was like dying. No doctor could figure it out. We healed ourselves with food and detoxification protocols.
And the poodles.
And love. So we're going to move on to this other stuff, and I'll just briefly touch base on each of these. So if you go into the Purium website, you're going to see a whole line of stuff. And sometimes it is overwhelming because you're like, oh my gosh, what do I want to take? You know? So I'm going to just we'll start with this Aloe Digest, okay? Aloe is a beautiful plant. It soothes the gut. So what I do in the morning is I wake up, I have a relatively warm glass of water, about as warm as people would drink their tea. I don't drink coffee or tea. I don't like stimulants. Coffee maybe like 5 times a year if I have to drive somewhere and it's either fall asleep at the wheel or drink a cup of coffee. I choose coffee, but it doesn't happen that often. Only like when I run my retreats and I got to stay awake for all weekend long and then I got to drive to the airport. So coffee it's not the best to be in your body all the time. So what I do is I wake up in the morning, warm glass of water, I put a little bit of this in my water and I squeeze a lemon, and it's a very, very satisfying, like enriching drink. It's got some other stuff in it too. It's just really good for the gut. Not like what I'm saying. This is like your number one. If you're like, Mike, where do I start? It's this. This stuff is just adding in good nutrition into your life. So as you can see, we have a lot of stuff here and we use it because it helps us so much, because we don't spend money on anything but food.
Truth.
We don't care about, these, like, we don't have fancy stuff. It's all about what goes into our body. The next thing, if you were like, hey, Mike, what's the second thing that you would recommend for me? It would be this. The ionic elements. There's another one on Purium. It says fulvic acid, but this has fulvic acid in it a little bit. So this is ionic elements, and this would be the number 2. The reason that this is because we're under mineralized human beings. So I'll read you what's in here. It has a fulvic acid in it, and it's plant-derived trace minerals from the ocean. Okay, so really, really good stuff. This helps the brain function better, the liver, the kidneys, everything. We need this stuff in our body, and most people, their diets are pretty much awful, and they're just not getting the nutrition they need. So these 2 things would be like the number 1. This would be the number 1. This would be the number 2. Great package together.
And real quick, this doesn't have a taste. You add it to your water or in your smoothie, and it doesn't change the flavor. Game
changer. Really good. Really helps support detox. So the second thing, or third thing that I have, or fourth thing that I have here is this green spectrum. Okay? This green spectrum is pretty much a condensed power shake. It has some other stuff in it. So you would take like 5.5 tablespoons of this, and a serving size of this is like teaspoons. Yeah, teaspoons. And this has some other stuff in it. It has dulse in it, has chlorella in it, which is a big one. Really good. So what I do is I add this into like my smoothies and whatever. I typically will add this in here sometimes, but I just rotate them. So
do you recommend this in lieu of this?
No, I recommend the Power Shake because it's more filling and you get more of a full filling. So if you're looking for more of this is like an additive. This is more like a replacement type thing. But together, they're supercharging each other.
And I think this tastes better. This has like an earthy taste. It's not bad, but this is like good.
Yeah, this is an add-on. Mm-hmm. Now, this super amino acids, it's just giving you just plant-derived amino acids. Really good blend in here. It just helps support, guys that are going to the gym. If you're being physically active, this just helps bring the body together, heal the body. Super Cleanse IR. I have some notes on here. You can take this with or without food. This is like an anti-parasite, antifungal type cleanser. It can help clean the digestive tract. It's got black walnut hull, marshmallow root, clove, wormwood, Anunnaki fruit, Cascara sagrada bark, senna leaf. So it helps move the bowels, right? It has some anti-parasite action there with the black walnut hull and the clove. And then the Cascara sagrada bark and the senna leaf, that's the other stuff in there to make sure that's not, making you constipated and it's keeping you moving. Nikki takes one of these cleanses from another company that I sell. So she takes something just like this, but this is the one that I like. So she's just been on something different and didn't want to switch it up. You guys have to be going to the bathroom.
Every day.
More than every day. It's so important. Like maybe twice a day is like premium, but every day at least. If you miss a day, if you miss a day of going to the bathroom, you are considered extremely constipated. And I battled with this for years because my gut was wrecked from the binge drinking I used to do and the food I ate when I was in the military and the stress that I went through and some of the traumas I went through and the shit I was exposed to early on in my early 20s from being in the military. My gut was destroyed. And you turn to find out when you start going to the bathroom like a normal human being should, like we really should be going almost every time we eat, but none of us really are at that point because of our diet since birth. So you just got to be going, and this stuff helps you go. Now, this biomedic is really important, and I would say this might be my number 3 here because this helps remove the gluten out of your body, the trapped glyphosate specifically, okay? Most people say they have a gluten allergy or a gluten intolerance. And what some of the studies and some of the information out there, it's not so much the gluten, it's actually the glyphosate that is sprayed on everything that has gluten in it.
If they don't know what glyphosate is, can you explain that?
Glyphosate is essentially Roundup. It's a toxic chemical that should be illegal, but it's not because this country is ran by these big companies that don't care about us.
I think it's illegal in other,
it's illegal in other countries. 100%. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Glyphosate is Roundup. And if you're eating bread, if you're eating any type of grain, corn, and it's not organic or GMO free, it has glyphosate in it. They walk through fields with hazmat suits on, spraying glyphosate so weeds don't grow. And then you eat it in your body and it goes into your gut and it kills your gut membrane. So your gut then doesn't absorb the food. Your gut is also really your brain, all the beautiful microbes down in there, the happy feeling, serotonin, it all comes from your gut. And glyphosate is killing it, especially with kids. That's why kids are sicker than ever because they're being brought. If you're eating cereal every day and it says Kellogg's on it or it says one of these General Mills, you are putting a grenade in your body every time you eat it. And then one day you will hit a wall. You'll hit a wall. Boom. Just like we did, because we used to eat that stuff. So this helps remove the glyphosate. And to be honest, I haven't found too many things on the entire market, and I study the market pretty well, that removes glyphosate like this. And it will also help your bowels go. You got to get the glyphosate out of your body. It gums up in there. It's a toxin, and it screws us up. So this is really important. So as you can see, this is a whole system of things. Now, I have a friend of mine from California who had lupus. She was on lupus medication. She was in pain, and I've been telling her, I'm like, man, you got to try this stuff. She finally, she made all these changes at once. I was like, whoa. She got the distilled water machine I recommend. She did the 30-day transformation packet. It's a $500, $600 investment that you get. It's like a big thing that you get in the mail. But you have to understand, you barely eat any food when you're doing that. Like you eat a salad and you drink a lot of these shakes every day. You really don't eat too much food. But needless to say, she's on the Purium kick right now. She lost 15 pounds.
I think 20.
15, 20 pounds. She looks, I've had people message me being like, dude, what did you do with Courtney? She looks so good. The inflammation's going down in her body. She's got more energy. Her joints don't hurt anymore. Her body's healing. Your body knows how to heal. You have to support it to do its thing. There are no real illnesses out there. They all stem from the body being compromised. If I have 20 people fall off the roof of a house, everyone's going to break a different bone because everybody's body is different. You know, if you push 20 people off the house, everybody's going to be like, I broke the exact same part of my bone. that would be different. But no, everybody's going to be like, my shoulder, my knee, my back, because everybody falls differently. Everybody's body is different. And that's exactly what illnesses are. The body just displacing pain and trauma in different ways. And then we're left there to pick up the pieces. So this has helped us so much. I can't even say.
It really has. And I'm not one to push supplements or sell things, but like this is our story and this is our life. And the way that we can help you is by sharing what's helped us. And it truly has made a difference.
Yeah. And I just want to bring it in again. We both were very chronically ill. She saw every doctor like on the East Coast.
I had such major digestion issues. I was going to the bathroom like twice a week. I was so bloated that I looked like I was 8 months pregnant. And no doctor knew what to do with me. And every doctor would just try a different antibiotic. And that was before I knew any better. And I healed myself with raw food, juicing, distilled water, and this stuff.
She saw every doctor. We have 2 of the biggest hospitals in the city near us. I'm not going to say the names, but 2 major big hospitals. And she saw all the specialists in all these hospitals. And me too. I saw every single doctor in an entire hospital one time. They were pushing me everywhere. No one could figure out what was wrong with either of us. And I came across a documentary that showed people healing from food. And I just was like... So the first thing we cut out, 8 years ago was like the fast food. Then we slowly cut out like the really bad junk foods, and we switched from like, pizza to healthy pizza. We switched from chips to healthy chips. We stopped the grease and the fried stuff.
No soda.
We were soda drinkers.
Yeah.
All that stuff was the first stuff to go. And then slowly you start to realize that even most of the stuff out there that is health food-y actually isn't good either. And if you want to heal chronic illness, you must go far and above beyond the average person. Just because it works for the average person doesn't mean it's going to help you get better. You must really reach beyond the norm. Just like we did, people come to our home and they look at our life and they're like, you guys are extreme. You guys take it too far. And we laugh.
We've been told that so many times. Like, live a little. You're depriving yourself. And I'm like, do you feel deprived? No. Do you feel deprived? No. It's just our life now and we feel good.
Yeah,
And we don't feel deprived. Like, like today, we just got some coconut milk ice cream, right? It was dark chocolate truffle. So you still have these tasty little titillizations and desserts, and it's not that you're depriving yourself from what you enjoy in life. It's just you make different choices within the realm of ice cream or chips, and then you don't feel bad after.
Also, the window of eating.
Yes.
The less we eat, the less things we put in our body, the better. And this is a struggle for both of us because I was a huge overeater because I used to be a major athlete. I was in combat sports and I was cutting weight all the time. So when I would have to go to compete, I would lose like a quick 15 pounds and then I would compete and then I would just eat everything inside of me for like 2 days. And, I was training all the time. My gut took a beating and I had a really bad relationship with food. So food's the foundation of your life. And if you accept the fact of how emotional you are going to be when you start to change your food and change your relationship, just because your family makes a huge, massive turkey dinner slopped on with gravy and a huge Thanksgiving meal, if you really want to get better, you're going to have to learn how to start saying no to that kind of stuff. Because me and her, when we go to places like that, we sit there and we watch everybody eat.
Or we bring our own meal. And at first, family, friends get offended. At least ours did. And they were like, you're bringing your own food to our dinner. But they get over it, right? Because at first they feel threatened for some reason. But now we just bring our own meal. No one blinks. Doesn't matter. And it's fine.
Yep.
You just have to stay strong in what you want to do and not let family or friends make you feel bad for you taking care of yourself. Because it will happen. It does.
So when you're traveling and everyone stops to go out to eat and you're trying to keep on your intuitive path because you want to do animal readings, or for me, I know I have coaching sessions lined up. Everybody walks into the restaurant. I either go in with them and don't eat, or I sit out in the car and I stretch and I drink a power shake.
You are always stretching.
That's my life. If it's too cold, I'll maybe go in there with them and get like a salad. But typically, I don't even like eating salads at restaurants. My grocery stores are my restaurants. I'll get some fruit or something while I'm waiting. But, if you want to be like the rest of the world, we just continue acting the same way they do. And most of the world's sick. So when you want to step into these higher callings, like, this animal communication and whatever else you might be learning this intuitive work for, you have to rise above the things that are holding you back. And one other thing I want to say with all of this, it's a good company. It helps people, and it's there to help people. And I want all of you to not look at this as supplements. Like, oh my gosh, I have to take supplements to get better. This all is condensed food and herbs. It's all it is. There's not a single synthetic thing in anything here in front of you. It's all food. Condensed, whole, pure food that your body responds to give it the energy it needs to heal. That's all it is. There's not a single thing in this that is not whole food cofactor. So
a couple people in my Pet Psychic Academy asked me where they can buy this stuff. Can they just go online and get it? How do they do it?
Oh, so I'm a provider for them. And yes, I make a little bit back when you guys buy under me, but you need to have a provider that you go under. You can get it on Amazon now, but Amazon doesn't give you the discount as if you go through a provider. So if you go through me, you think you save like 25% off the main price. And it's just the way the company's structured. It's just the way that it is. Feel free to shoot me a message if you have any questions about what I would recommend. If it's a quick message, let's do it. Or, I do consults for this type of stuff and I can create a program for you. But if you just have a message, like, hey, I have this much money to spend. What are the 3 things that you would recommend? Like, just remember right off the bat, number 1, number 2, and this biomedic. Those 3 things are what I would, if you can do that every single day, you will notice a difference. In 2 weeks, you're gonna feel something click on, and for most people, it's even sooner than that.
If you're interested in these items, when you click on the link that we'll provide below, you have to actually create your account.
You need an account. You can't just go on there and buy.
You'll make your account, and then when you go to check out, that's when you'll enter his affiliate ID, and then you'll see the discounts applied.
And we're going to make more stuff like this. Maybe we'll have a kitchen day where we show you some of the recipes that we make.
I hope you enjoyed Donnie. No matter what I'm doing, he could be totally content lying down asleep. The second we start talking on screen, he scratches at the door and wants to go out because he wants
jealous.
to be. He's just perfect.
He gets jelly when we're not giving him full attention. So we need to make him a sandwich.
Is this a sandwich?
It's a sandwich. It's a sandwich.
I love my sandwich.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here with us, guys.
Take care of yourself.
Enjoy.
Take care of the world.
Bye.